Hello, everyone. Bunny the Divine here, and welcome to the Divine Beehive Lounge. So, today we are here for chapter number 2, and it's all about fans, feather fans, silk fans, dance fans. Not the one that you just use when it's really hot, but all of the other fans that we use in burlesque. And this goes into human psychology, it goes into gut and gut feeling and your witchy senses and all of that juicy part of us. So, first thing is I like to start with I love fence. It's probably my favorite prop and my favorite skill to have, and the one that I keep coming back to just to play. Sometimes, like when I do boas, of course, I love boas too. I love some other skills, but there is one that I can just go and play, and that's feather fans. And well, silk fans will become my friends very soon. I just got some and I'm gonna start having them with my girls for advanced fans next semester. And that will be a lot of fun as well. And I'm sure I'm gonna fall in love just as much. And I'm looking forward to learning the new physics of those. So if you are a good feather fan dancer, you can probably pull it off with silk fans, but there is a lot to be learned about the silk fans themselves. They are actually a different kind of fan, and I learned a lot by teaching. So I'll be taking some courses during the summer to learn so that I can create a choreography for my girls next semester, and then I'll let you know how it goes. Probably will be the topic of one of these letters in the future. Anyway, fans. What I love about fans is first, I find there is two types of people with fans. When you touch a fan for the first time, you're either type 1, which is what the hell? What is this? How do I hold this? My hands don't like this. It hurts and all of that. Or you're type number 2, which is, ooh, this feels good. I like the way it looks. And you kind of get it. You kind of just get it. And, many things in life you can think that people have a natural talent to that. And the natural talent to fans is nothing else but being very good at paying attention to the world. And I find that fascinating. And stay with me, I'm going to get my point across. When you hold fans and you actually dance with the fans, not against the fans, and not control them, because I see that a lot too. And that's, by the way, one of my pet peeves. I see people who are pretty skilled, but when they handle their fans, it's just not good. It just doesn't look good. It looks like you can see the feathers fighting for their lives, and they're just whooshing them around like that. And I'm like, it's not the way fans are supposed to be handled. It's not the way feathers are supposed to be handled. Feathers are air. Feathers are anti-gravity. You're supposed to play with that. That's the way they want to be handled. That's for me what takes apart a good fan dancer from a great fan dancer. The way you can just understand and listen to your fans. So, as I just mentioned, fans are anti-gravity and they are air, so they play with the air. So, when we observe things, and you've been watching gravity your whole life, right? You know what gravity looks like and feels like. And actually, you don't know the world without gravity. But some of us will have paid attention to the way things move with that. Maybe you watched the snowfall and how the different kinds of snow will drop from the sky, as in like a little ball of like a pebble, or how depending on their shape they're gonna kind of swing around as they go. Maybe you just watched the rain, or maybe you just watched when a bird drops their feathers and how those feathers move. And you maybe with your own body, or when you are in water, and there is this whole introversion thing of paying attention to those things and observing. And I believe a lot of that translates into a very, very good fan dancer, because you got to understand the level of force that you have to apply for a fan to do something. And once it does, you have to know and predict what's going to happen next. And you might have to listen to the fan to see where it wants to go next. And if you are really holding for your life and trying to control it, you won't be able to, because the fan will not do what it wants to do. It will do what your hands are forcing it to do, you know? And those are two very different things. And this is all about pattern recognition. And I'll never forget. I always had this question, and many of my friends are engineers. So at the beginning, like now, of course, we have pretty good AI, and I'm sure it will be even better, as the years come. But I remember at the beginnings, AI would think that a tire is a face. And I'm like, well, a human would never do it. That's also why, they would test whether you were human or not with those pictures. Like, hello, those are obvious. Not necessarily. And the one test that I like to tell people is, can you describe a cat? They're like, yeah, sure, right? It's like two little pointy ears and whiskers, and then they have this little long nose, and they walk on all fours. And most cats, have like fur, and yeah, it's kind of maybe you can think of a cylinder kind of shape. It's like, great. Now, can you describe a dog? And yeah, sure. And then you start to describe the dog, and it's pretty much the same description. Still, a human being would never confuse a dog for a cat. Never. So there is something there. There is some kind of pattern that makes us know what a dog is and what a cat is, and how they are apart from each other, how they are not the same. But when you try to translate into words and explain it, it's so hard. It's so hard. I don't even think I can. But I would never think a dog is a cat or vice versa. So I always found this fascinating. How are we masters of recognizing patterns like that, right? So those things that just kind of happen in the subconscious, those things that you just know how to do and you don't even know why. And interesting enough, I also mentioned that, like in my letter, we know so much more than we think. And sometimes we call that gut feeling. And you should listen to that, by the way. Always listen to your gut feeling. And sometimes we resist. We resist because, as I just said, it's subconscious. It's something that runs in your background without you even noticing that. But you can notice, and your eyes notice, and you can perceive with your senses, not just your eyes, your whole body, things that you are unaware of. I even heard once, I don't know if it's true. By the way, if anyone watching this is like super into facts, please drop below, like facts and pages and links. I love learning. That people are unaware of almost like 90% of things our body just ignores. So probably you don't even notice you are breathing. You forget your tongue is in your mouth. You are ignoring the feeling of, if you're like sitting like me, you're ignoring the feeling of your skin pressing against the fabric of the couch. Because if you were always aware of those things all the time, if you had to think before you blink every time, you would have no space for things. They say that we can always see our nose, we just learn to not see it. So the amount of things that actually you know, but you're not conscious that you know is huge, insane. And this is pattern recognition. It's all about those things that, okay, I know because I've seen that before. And those things that, yeah, you know because you sensed it before. And I remember when I read this book, I really like serial killers, and I know many millennials do. I'm a millennial, so I was a big fan of Criminal Minds. I don't really like the new seasons very much, if you're into it, but I really, really enjoyed the first, especially the first three seasons are so more of kind of mind kind of terror. It's not like gore or anything. It gets really gore at a point. And then up to season 9, it's still pretty good. And then it starts to get really like CSI and really weird. And yeah, I really hated the last villain. I was so tired of him. How can he be that smart? Like, no, he can't, sorry. And, oh well, I remember reading the book by the guy who actually created the real unit that where Criminal Minds was based on, and he said that he got the chance to interview a lot of serial killers, and he got a chance to interview a couple of survivors. And the one thing that he realized, and that's the thing with every survivor, is they listened to their gut. They didn't get into that car, they didn't talk to that person, they just didn't fall for it. And the reason why, none of them could explain, but it was like, oh, it just felt off. And that's a huge signal, because that's what we do. 100, well, okay, not 100, 99% of your day is spent with normal interaction. Your skin knows what normal feels like. Your eyes know what normal looks like. Your nose knows what normal smells like. And other micro senses that we have, they know what normal is like. That's what you see all the time. So when something is not normal, so something is a little off, something your senses will tell you. And it's crucial that you listen to it. And I know that I digressed a lot. But what I want to just say is fans kind of encapsulate this, in my opinion, superpower of human beings into a dance. It's physics, but not the physics that you can just learn and study. It's physics in motion. You can observe it. You can see, when you see someone who really masters the art of fans, it flies, and then the fan is never fighting against, and their arms are not fighting against. They're moving with the fan, and you can become part of it. And it incorporates also a lot of the elements, which I'm super into, as you know. So it's a lot of inhale, and then the fans expand, and then when you exhale, then you can bring them in, so then you can push them out again. And this beautiful dance is like, when it's done well, it's so good, so good. So yeah, I'm a big fan of fans. And I believe that actually, this chapter was kind of just about that, about my fascination with something that's so human. And I don't think we actually notice or talk enough about it because every time I do, either people don't get what I'm talking about or they kind of okay or maybe everybody like just takes it for granted. But I'm someone who's really fascinated with things. And that kind of leads me to the kind of similar and sibling topic to this, which is the feeling that I hate the most. And the feeling that I hate the most, not to feel, because I really don't feel it, but to see and to see praised, especially, is blase. And I didn't even know why, I never really liked that. I saw those, like those billboards. And then you have that high end perfume. And then you just have this person sitting, looking like very, it's a mix of bored and I'm too good for this. And honestly, I don't like either. I really don't like when people feel bored because, excuse me, how can you be bored in 2020? Well, when I'm filming this, 2026, when you literally have access to the world knowledge in your pocket, right? Or when you can just observe. If you literally just sit and then you just watch and then you look and you can see like how fascinating everything is, how you look at a table that you're touching and then you're like, wow, like how someone made this and how is it made? Or there is one thing that I really love that about the Swiss. They like to do people watching a lot. So they like, if you go to a cafe at the main street, you're going to see that the tables are all facing towards the sidewalk because people like to sit there and just watch people walking. And that's fantastic because then you just observe like the way everybody walks different, the way their hair moves, or the way that the lights hit, and then they break down into these three different shades, and the way, I don't know, the dust sits differently on surfaces, and everything. There is just so much to be entertained by, and there is so much you can do to entertain yourself, so much to be curious about, so much zest for life that's just there to be lived. And blase is just like no zest for life. And you don't even know if you have another one. We might just have one. Maybe this is all you get. I love the saying, as above, so below. And if I were to get a tattoo, I would probably get this one. Because all that means is this is it. This is all you get. Don't live life as your rehearsal. This is it. This is the stage. The life you might be expecting, after you're gone might not even exist. What if it doesn't? Why you are living as if it's a draft? It's now. So I really don't get it. How can you have time for blase? So annoying. And the other part of blase, I believe, is the feeling of, oh, I'm so bored because I'm too good for this, There might be even something entertaining, but I'm so over it. I mean, you cannot, maybe you're listening to a podcast, you cannot see my face, but my face is saying, what the fuck? Because I really don't believe in that. And this is one of the things that I always hated as well, since I was a kid. There is nothing that's below your human experience. Nothing. If you cannot sit at the top of the world having dinner at the most expensive restaurant in the world and enjoy a bottle of champagne with the same attitude, you can sit with me outside right now and have the best pizza sitting on the sidewalk with the rain coming and maybe there is water in your wine and just drinking wine from the bottle. Why? Like, why can't you have both? Why can't you have the whole spectrum of human experience? Why are you too good for the hot dog at the corner of the street in New York? I hope it doesn't give you food poisoning. But even if it does, and you don't die from it, hopefully not, it's like the whole broad experience of being alive and being here. And I genuinely pity any mind that's so narrow that cannot see the value of experiencing the whole thing, because there is this belief coming from God knows where that you're too good for that. And I wanted to bring this up because I feel like this really fights face to face. Is that a word? I don't know. This really fights with what I just said in chapter 1, standards. So I wanted to bring this up today because I love this kind of complexity of the human experience, right? And it's, what is it? Then maybe you're asking, right, Bunny, what is it? Should I raise my standards and not accept less? Or should I let the standards go down and destroy standards and just take whatever? And even though these two topics sound like, oh, okay, no, wait, you're contradicting yourself just from like the previous chapter, I do believe they talk about the same thing. Because being in a bad mood or not allowing yourself to do something, to enjoy something, because of an external or internal, whatever, belief that this is not good enough for you, that's a different thing. So when you talk about standards, I'm talking about, of course, I'm going to get the best pizza I can. But let's say, and this happened just this week with me, it's 11, everything is closed, all there is the hot dog, I can't starve here. Or I'm with my best friend, we are like half drunk, and there is this hot dog. And I'm like, okay, this can be a lot of fun, and I'm hungry anyway, and I love hot dogs, and I haven't had a hot dog in years, actually. That's pretty true, actually. I haven't had a hot dog in years, and I like hot dogs. Why will I keep myself from living that standard of experience? So standards are not something superficial. Expanding on the idea of standards from last chapter. A standard is not, okay, I'm not wearing a necklace unless it's gold. No. My standard is my joy. Does this $2 necklace that came inside a candy make me happy? Do I love it? So why not wear it? If it brings me this joy, if it enriches my life. So it's about experiences that enrich you, regardless of their perceived value from outside. So just looking from outside, it might look like the hot dog on the sidewalk is not as good as the, I don't know, deconstructed hot dog in a 3 Michelin star restaurant. But the thing is, the measure is you. The measure is you. Because the other way around also happens. My best friend, she's not a friend of fancy dining. Not at all. Fine dining, not for her. Never invite. She is her happiest with a popcorn bowl. That's her happiest. So that's actually her standard. Why would she take an invitation from someone to go to a very fancy restaurant, have a lot of foods she doesn't like? Why would she get herself into this situation? You see what I mean? I hope it's clear. A standard is something that comes from within and is alien and other to external validation. And that's what I mean by standards. So when you raise your standards about the kind of behavior, the kind of people you're going to have around you, the kind of experiences you want to have, your thermostat is you. Are you following things that will enrich your own experience? Are you following things that bring you joy? Are you following things that make your heart beat faster? Are you following you and not a trend? Are you following what speaks to your heart, makes you cry, and makes you shout, makes you feel a lot of emotions? Or are you following what someone said is good because, I don't know, you value that person's opinion, I guess, or because they're a celebrity or whatever? So you see, it's not about a clear cut line that is the same line for everybody. Everybody needs to have their own. And yeah, I think that many times when I hear people say that, because I hear that a lot. I hear a lot when I tell people about my favorite band and that I'm a big groupie. I follow them whenever, by the way, it's the Counting Crows. If they come to Europe, I follow them. I go watch them like 2, 3 shows if I can, or if I could, I would watch more, but I have my job too. I follow them to the US and I will go and I'm in front. So I arrive early because I want to be in front. I sing my lungs out. I cry. I jump. Like it's so good. And the whole day I'm living that experience. I wake up and then I put Cutting Crows and then I go for lunch and then I'm listening. And one of my best friends also is a big fan. And whenever possible, he goes with me to this show. So, and he's also crazy about the band, just like me. So we just literally spent the weekend sunk into that, and we listen to the lyrics, and we are analyzing the lyrics, and we are crying about the lyrics, and we're singing along, and it's so so good. And literally, I have people telling me when I tell them about this experience that they don't feel like that about anything in their lives. And that makes me really sad because I wish that for everybody. That you know yourself so much and you are so faithful to that thing, those things in you, to what you love, to what makes your heart skip a beat. You're so loyal to your own human experience that you will find it. You will find it. So right now, it makes me feel sad. But sometimes I like to think that they just don't know. They are either not allowing themselves that, there is something that they are crazy about. They just don't realize because they just don't live that fully for whatever reason. Or they just haven't found that yet. Because I have friends even telling me, oh, but I was front row to what? Like Shakira. She was literally 1 meter from me and I didn't feel anything. It's like, yeah, but were you watching Shakira because it's Shakira? Or were you watching Shakira because her songs speak to your heart? Because you really love her work. Her art speaks to you. Like, what is it? And if it's the first, I understand. I wouldn't. So, yeah. That's it then, I guess. I'm trying to keep these episodes to around 30 minutes, and I can see my clock ticking about 30. So it started with fans, it went into physics, serial killers, back to fans, and then it ended with motivational speak and blase. And don't do that to yourself and find your passion. So, yeah, that was chapter 2. And I will be filming some of these videos from other places because this is the Divine Beehive Lounge. But anywhere I go is my lounge. So the world is my lounge. So stay tuned for this. Thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you next time. Bye.